Hi friends, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about the concept of defined collection in Blue Prism. I will also walk you through a practical example to show you how to create defined collection in process. So let's get started. First, let's understand what is collection in Blue Prism. Collection is a data structure which is used to store and manipulate sets of data efficiently. So left side you can see here we have a collection stage. Let's drag and drop here. And the by default name is like collection call 1 and it keeps increasing like call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. This stage cannot be linked with start or end stage, or this cannot be linked with any other stages. This is used to store the data only. It's like a data item. So if you can see here, this is the data item stage and it looks same as this, like the collection also looks like this, but this collection is just a collection of data items you can see here, right? Just like a multiple data item combined into one, and that is called collection here. So in the collection stage, let me open that. So here you can see we have name, description. So in the name you can change the name of this collection. Here you can put the description. It means like the purpose of the collection stage that we are using. We have three tabs here: fields, initial values, and the current values. Here we will have all the fields created here, basically the column names and its type and descriptions. Here we can set the initial value against those columns, and then here we will have current values. Right side we have option import, add, remove, and clear. If you'll see below, we have three checkbox: reset to initial value whenever this page runs, second, hide from other pages in the process, and third, single row. Reset to initial value whenever this page runs. This means whenever you will run the code, and that time it will reset the value, it will remove the current value and keep it initial value. So whatever value will have, it will be always there. Hide from other pages in process. So if this is checked, then this collection will not be used from the other pages. If we'll uncheck this, so the same collection, this collection can be used from the other pages, other sub pages also here in the same process. This is single row. So if you'll have a single row, so only you can add single row of data. If it is unchecked, it means you can have multiple rows added here. Now each column in a collection can store different types of data such as text, numbers, date time, etc. So if we'll click on add, you can see here we can mention the name, that field name or column name you can say, and then type against that and the description, and based on that column you can set the value here. Now let's understand the types of collection. So there are two types of collection: defined collection and undefined collection. Now let's understand what is defined collection. Defined collection types have their column names, or you can say field names, and the data types configured in advance using the collection property window. So let's take one example. Suppose you have a process that needs to handle employee data such as employee ID, employee name, department, salary, etc. So you can create a collection to store this data. So let's say we have this collection. I'm going to take it for employee data stored collection. You can put a better description here. And then in the employee data store, we have employee ID, employee name, department, salary. These are the column names. You can say field. So we can put here like employee ID, set it as a number, put the description here, add a row, basically add a column field here, basically employee name. This will be text, and then if you want, you can add some more data, like you can add some more column here, like department salary. For now, I will just keep 2. Now we are ready with this two columns. Now once you added this column names, you can see this is enabled. The single row is enabled. So currently this is unchecked, so we can have a multiple data added here. Okay, now if you go to the initial value, now we have option to add the values here. So let's say for time being, I'm just putting a 1. I'm putting my name here as a value. So employee ID, first value, first, and employee name, Manish. And this is text, this is number, right? If we'll check this single row, so this add and remove button will be disabled and we can have only one row. If we'll uncheck this, then we can have this add and remove button enabled, and then we can add more rows here and you can remove. Now let's click OK, and this is the employee data store collection. Currently we have only one initial value. Now let's take one example to add data to this one. So we'll take first one action stage, and this action stage will take to add the row to the existing collections. We'll select the internal business object is the collection. In the collection name, we'll be putting the collection name, and that should be in the text. So our collection name is employee data collection, right? But we are getting error, so what we can do, just remove this brackets and put it like this. Okay, and click OK. So this will add one row. Basically it will just add a row to this, not here but in the current value, to just add one row to the current value, and then we'll have, and then we can add data to that row. So let's right click, set next stage. Now you can see here row 2 of 2. So we already had this default value, that initial value 1, which we created here, and now second row is added. Now we need to add the value to this, right? So for that, let me reset this, and let's take here calc stage. Let me remove this just to show you an example. I'm just taking here two expressions, one to store the employee ID, second for employee name. So you can see here employee data store collection, this is the collection name, dot employee ID. So collection name dot the collection field name. So this is called dot notation. So by this way you can store value to this specific field, a specific column. So now I'm going to pass second row number 2, employee ID 2, and then value you can pass anything. So let's say I'm passing a John. So this 2 will be added to the field employee ID in the collection, and John will be added to the employee name in the field employee name in the collection. Add data to collection. Now let's click OK. Right click, set next stage, and now you can see first one row has been added. Now we are just going to add the data. So let's open this, and you can see here row number 2 and John. So here we have a predefined column names added, and then we are just passing value to this. Now when to use this defined collection? Now let's understand one more example. So let's say you have an Excel file for order sample and you have these much of data. Now you have a scenario, you have a use case, you have to read this Excel and then loop through each row and then check if quantity is greater than 5, then store this customer account and quantity to that defined collection. And in your defined collection, you will have a predefined columns configured, that is customer account number and quantity. So you will take only this customer account and this quantity added to that defined collection, right? And other will be skipped. And then later on, you will just work on the defined collection. Might be you'll add only that to the queue, or you will do some manipulation on that one. So in that condition, we can use defined collection. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video helped you understand the concept of defined collection in Blue Prism. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. If you have any question or suggestion, feel free to leave them in comments below. Until next time, happy learning.